Hey, what's up everybody? Jon Foster here. I'm with Kairon Haynes, Greta Oniogu. We're heading to the DW factory, the drum workshop, drum factory in Oxnard, right?
Yeah.
We're on our way there right now. We're gonna get a tour of the factory. We're gonna take you in there with us and see how drums are made. Anywhere from the plywood coming together, getting formed into a shell. They tune the drums, they figure out the fundamental note of the drum, and we're gonna see how they do that. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna take you behind the scenes at the DW Drum Factory. Kairon's got a DW drum key right there. That's how you know you're dedicated. How long have you played DW drums for?
I got my first DW kit in 2018.
Oh my god, there's like a million drums in this kit. Wow.
There, that
Hold on, let me turn my brightness up for you.
Wow. FYI, if you're going to the DW Drum Factory, it takes like 45 minutes or an hour. If you're coming from LA, you just go straight up the 101, couple lefts, couple rights, and you're there. Welcome to DW. All right, we're here, we're doing it. We're going into the DW factory. Gonna check out how drums are made.
I have a factory tour at showroom.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
You want another?
Greta, you gotta wear this. Nice.
I want to eat those drums.
Wow.
Like 65% of all high-end drums sold in the world come out of this factory.
Oh my God.
So we started in 1972, and John Good, Don Lombardi, they started the company as doing drum lessons. They went into business, they came up with an idea for a drum seat. It was like a drum seat that you could put your hardware in. They started selling, and then they just did a lot of stuff since then.
Wow.
This is it's like a hard set that is, basically it's a lacquer finish without the shine. So what we do, we have this shell. It's all timber matched by ear, by John Good. What we do is we hold the shell up in that sound booth right there. We hit it with the mallet. So what picks up is the note inside of the shell. That's kind of the note to tune it to. And then we're the only company that does that. Also, there's an order number that prints out. In that order number, it'll give me all the information on the drum set, on what finish, what the full picture of the whole 9 yards. Yeah, it's pretty in depth. The difference is this is a specific wood grain orientation. So
We have HVX.
yeah, you know what's up. So yeah, we have vertical, long grain. In the center, we have a 45-degree angle. So if you can imagine, the tensile strength from that is strong enough to make a shell, but it's not really taut like this is. So what ends up happening is you get less resonance and a lower pitch, which people really ideally want more toms and bass drums.
Another 3/5 piece. This is vertical grain as well, long grain in between, vertical on the back side. Blue roller, get glue on both sides. Shot to this side, pull that out of the way. Make sure we got the grain on both sides here. And then I stagger it out, that way when it all comes together, it's all broken out evenly and makes a strong drum. So I grab another 3/5 piece, vertical, long, and vertical as well. Now, vertical. Starting out, I'm going to pull this up, but after everything's been staggered, I bring the whole thing together. Grab the whole thing. Get my air in here. One forward, my second forward, and my outer. Start rolling it out together, and it starts looking like a baby. So now from here, I'm going to go right behind you guys on that machine right there. Right in here. Got my outer, forward, inner. I'm going to start blowing it here. Have to make sure everything's coming together. Nothing's getting over that. And everything. They're lined up perfectly. Check out my outer, forward, and inner. Everything looks like it's together. I start my timer. Now this machine will do the rest of the job. It'll give the shell 2,600 pounds of pressure per square inch. The machine's heated a little under 200 degrees, and it'll cook in here for 7.5 to 8 minutes. When the shell's done cooking, I have to the shell come out of the top press to go from here to this press, which is our post press. That press will give it the same 2,600 pounds, move the shell down, catalyze all the glue inside. By the time it's out of that press, after another 8 minutes, it'll be a solid round shell, go to the test, ready to test, get that down, hand it over to our next one. So this process is unique to BW. We call it the full tempered shell process. That means every single shell we make here, from a 6, that may go around to a 24-inch base run, will get hot, cold before it's done. This process for everything. This is one of our exotic shells. I've been doing a bunch of poppers today, regular maples, performances. Everything is treated the same, hot and cold up and about. The difference between a performance and every regular collector is performance is an 8-ply shell, long grain on the outside, 45 inside, and there's no way of changing that. Collector series, you can pretty much custom make whatever you want. Hoops, no hoops, 8-ply, 9-ply, 10-ply, 12-ply. So it's pretty much up to you. And performance is standard. And that's pretty much it.
Expand a little bit about the equipment we use really quick. The Lazy Susan helps us tune really super fast, as opposed to doing here, we tune in a circle. Really super fast. And also, depending on the size of the drum, we can accommodate really tall drums. So I could work up here. Not having to do this all day long. Or very small drums, that's the, like a 7x8. I can range this all the way up and I don't have to bend over for nothing. So
I love that you're using the 5,000.
Isn't that great? Yeah. And depending on your height, the height of the person, so we really accommodate. It's just ergonomically very good. Battery powered, got air, anything that's going to help make tuning a lot faster. Just basically is,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anything that keeps us from getting carpal tunnel.
Oh,
yeah. I've done hundreds of thousands probably. So in just a matter of 2.5 to 3 minutes, we can tune this. Oh, and everything that comes up it should be loose. I want to be able to feel everything myself. So if anything's wrong, anything. So we line up the number sequence. Make sure I'm vertical here on my. Got enough space in here. Look good so far. Do you guys play? Drums?
Yeah.
I like to make sure that the spacing between the bearing and the hoop all the way around is more or less the same. So you don't want to have this thing pull as you're tightening. You don't want to.
Right.
So, yeah, it's going to make a difference in your tuning. So on a very low setting, and while I'm doing this, I don't want to pull that hoop. I'm always watching. So I'm going to slow this down like half speed, so the rear mortal. I'm just saying. I know, I'm full. Okay, so I'm just seating the head basically. I'll come back and do the final tuning. So. You'll probably notice a lot of drummers use one key. I use 2 keys. I'm both-handed for the most part, so that kind of got me thinking, if I'm going to do to this side what I just did to that one, I'm going to do it at the same time, so it automatically cuts my time. See you later for that. hypothetically, whatever.
It doesn't really matter to do like opposite or around, just kind of.
Not to me. This is the way I teach tuning when I do have any students who are doing aesthetics. Yeah. Because, I mean, essentially you're pulling this way. You don't know how much you're pulling.
Yeah.
Only that is starting to tighten on you. Then you end up doing this side anyway.
Yeah.
You're going to pull it, you're going to tighten it. So I just do them at the same time. So I
Yeah.
trust both my hands. And I get drummers to use their weak hand. Very, very quickly. It's more technical stuff for a drummer, deep. The reason I started here, and I did here, and I did here, and I left these four for the last. When you do a normal sequence, when you do here, here, right, here, you do the normal sequence, and you tighten everything. If you look at this flat on, or if you turn it over, a lot of times you get that wobble out of your drum, and that's because there's a snare bed cut in the wood, so it goes like this, and the snare bed drops in order to accommodate the snares.
Yeah.
You're tightening this part of the hoop actually drop into that snare bed. And it comes back up and it goes down and it goes down. So to prevent that, I start here. I start pulling down, 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 and in my mind, you still got these that are still here. So at the very end, I just flatten them out, and everything is just like it's flat. You turn it over, it doesn't rock. So is that too much information?
No, that's
Great.
TMI.
the perfect amount.
Oh, and your wire should be in the middle too. So same spacing here, same spacing here. We're good there. Let me just make sure this is straight. Right in the middle. Balance it. Okay, the last part is I find the lowest tone first. So. Okay. And again with the two keys, it starts getting tight. I'll skip one. I'm listening all the way. Is that 3 or 4? This is 5. This is the 5th time around. This is the only one that hasn't been hit yet, so. Okay, so everything's kind of snug. Now I'm going to really start listening. See how just micro tuning. So I'm not doing a whole lot at once, because you're just going to chase that pitch. You're going to try to keep chasing that pitch, and pretty soon you're going to end up with a timbali instead of a really nice sound. So.
Yeah, so how do you make it that it doesn't get that timbali thing? It's
Just small increments,
okay.
small turns.
And
small
are you going off of like you're trying to tune to this note? You're trying to tune everything to that like level?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a balance. It's all about ironing out that tone. And you can back off on a pitch too. If it sounds too high, you can back off on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and of course you have your adjustment. All day, all
Yeah.
day.
Butter.
Like that.
Goodness.
Like that, right?
Yeah.
And you get that nice tone. Everything just
Yeah.
lines up. You get that nice tone. So yeah, tuck in the straps. So yeah, everything felt good. There was no hang-ups. I don't see anything wrong with the snare. At this point, if there was something wrong, I could take it back to whoever. Just say, "Can you fix this, please?" Take it apart, bring it back to us. At this point, it goes into the White House, and that's the last stop. The last line of defense. The White House.
To see it, there's only 25 in the world, so there's 2 of them right there, and $4,300 at the lab.
Amazing.
What?
It's just
That's incredible.
very expensive materials. It's cast bronze.
Jeez.
Have some fun. This is almond wood, so this is that actual spinnery wood. That's what it was. Sorry if I'm not tuned. Try.
right, so we just left DW Factory, and it was amazing. The tour was incredible. I hope you watched the whole
In
video.
600 meters, turn right onto the US 101.
Google's interrupting me. She's taking us to a Starbucks now. Kairon, man, what'd you think?
Oh, it was amazing, man. Those kits were butter.
Just so beautiful.
So amazing, man. I love them.
Honestly, totally changes how you think about a drum and appreciate how a drum is made.
Yeah. So much detail they put into it, from painting to the direction of the grain and of the wood, like everything.
And everybody's got their special talent. Like you've got the one guy who's putting the drums together and like doing the certain pounds of pressure to make it the shape it needs to be. And you've got somebody who is tuning it and making sure that it's perfect. What an amazing process. So DW, maybe I need to get a DW drum kit.